Today, I'm gonna take you back to the past. Guys, yes, I know! How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the House of Horror, and today we're doing something a little different on the show, something I've never done before. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a director's commentary slash reaction type video. I'm gonna be taking a look back at one of the very first episodes of 15 Phenomenal Facts, my 15 Phenomenal Facts about Nosferatu. At the time of this recording, it is by far the most popular video on my channel in the spooky genre, and I have a lot of fond memories filming and editing this one. And yeah, so today I just wanted to take a quick trip down memory lane and revisit this old video, partly to address just some of the things in the video that I need to address, and partly just because, frankly, I'm not gonna have time to make 5 15 Phenomenal Facts videos this year. Obviously, it's 2020, the world is a very crazy place right now, and I'm not gonna go too deep into any of that. You guys obviously know what's going on in the world, but quite honestly, I don't have as much time to work on videos this year as I normally do. So I thought it would just be a fun idea to go back and revisit this video, because it's actually been a few years since I've watched it. And of course, if you guys haven't seen the video yet, I'll provide a link right above my head and in the video description so you guys can go check that out. And without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Alright, so let's just get going with this. At the time of this recording, it's actually at just over 30,000 views, so yeah, by far one of my most popular videos. And it's so hard to believe that this came out 4 years ago. But enough rambling, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're opening with some clips from some old horror films here. A nice little intro. I wish I would have used more intros like this back in the day. We're playing the same song I play 100 times throughout this video. Some good clips, Night of the Living Dead, White Zombie. There he is with the spooky lighting. Yeah, we shot this, well actually I shouldn't say we, I was a one-man crew on this one, as I am with a lot of my videos. Shot this in my parents' basement back when I first moved back from college. And if you notice my voice in this, my voice is very like deep and moody.
Heard of this film, but hardcore.
Yeah, just like that, very deep and moody, and that's a combination of just because I didn't know really what the vibe of these shows were gonna be yet, if I was gonna put on like a character or something like that, and partially because my entire family was asleep upstairs, so I was trying to keep it down a little bit. But yeah, either way. So on to the first fact.
Nosferatu means absolutely.
Yeah, Nosferatu doesn't mean anything, man. We learned this in my Nosferatu class. We had a whole class dedicated to Nosferatu. It was during the vampire course. It was an entire lecture. It was like 4 hours long. So we learned a lot about Nosferatu in that class, and I really enjoyed that class quite a bit. So one of the many things Mark DeWidziak taught me, one thing already about this video that I don't like very much is that every single time there's a new fact, it plays the piano theme. And this is something I stopped doing, actually. I don't really do that anymore because I feel like it breaks up the flow of the video and it makes everything go way, way too slow.
Influenced by the vampires of European folklore, rather than the Stoker novel. This vampire is a
Ooh, so there's a clip from Salem's Lot, and I had to add the little bonus fact at the bottom because when I was editing it originally, I forgot that that was a clip, and I didn't want to replace it, so I just threw that fact in.
To bring plague, and similar to the name, look, and plot of the
I'm not really reacting to things I'm saying. I'm just saying behind-the-scenes information for you guys, so I hope that's cool. I have noticed that this is one of the most informationally driven episodes that I've ever done, but I still tried to put in some jokes and stuff. We're talking about the plague. We're talking about the plague right now. Very topical issue. Of course, we are now in 2020, so we're going through another plague, essentially. And what's something that's interesting about the vampires and the Dracula character specifically is that every interpretation of a vampire or Dracula is really reflective of the time period in which it was made. So this was made, obviously, right after the Spanish influenza, one of the worst plagues of all time. And right now we're going through another virus, the coronavirus right now, COVID-19. So I'm curious to see with the vampires in the years to come if it's going to go back to the vampire being sort of like a plague carrier. I think that would be very, very interesting if they did something like that. If a studio wants to hire me to do it, go ahead and hire me. We're on to fact 12 already, so we got a bunch to go.
Dracula has a cameo?
Here's another thing. I always refer to him as Dracula in the video instead of Count Orlok, and that's because he is Dracula. I mean, Orlok is the name in the film, and yes, I understand I probably should have called him Orlok more in the video, but he's Dracula, man, and it's just how I'm used to calling him. I'm not calling him Orlok. It's like I don't know, it would have, if they would have been able to get the rights for the novel, he would have just been called Dracula. So really, to me, there's no point in calling him Orlok in the video. A lot of comments are calling me out on that, so I just want to address some of those comments. That's why I call him Dracula.
About the life and career of Max Shreck.
Oh, there's the Shreck reference. Had to get the Shreck reference in there if we're talking about Max Shreck.
Star of over 40 features. He's pretty much only.
Yeah, he really is only known for Nosferatu. I haven't seen any other Max Shreck film. If you've seen any Max Shreck films out there, let me know down in the comments. Maybe some ones to check out.
Were used to create this iconic character.
And yeah, I say in there that they use minimal makeup and stuff, and there's tons of comments calling me out being like, oh, they used the claws, they used this and that, they made his ears big. It's like, yeah, no shit they did. I'm just saying the dude was kind of creepy looking. I mean, obviously they did stuff to him. I mean...
Shadow of the Vampire.
So this is one that I get a lot of comments about in here, that I'm quoting Cinemassacre. And yes, I'm making many, many Cinemassacre references in here. I am a huge fan of Cinemassacre. I've been very, very vocal about that. And it's not like Cinemassacre hasn't referenced anything before. I mean, come on. And yeah, I mean, would I do it again? Would I say things direct from Cinemassacre videos again? Probably not. But I don't have any regrets about it, I guess. I mean, it's just a really cool way to end the segment there. I said, like, who knows, it could have been true. I mean, that's just a great line, and sorry people got so upset about it.
There were a few films before it that featured...
This is another one that was a Cinemassacre thing, and obviously when I'm doing these videos, I need to do research on them, so I'm researching using Cinemassacre videos. I'm researching using the vampire book that I'm about to show in a second. I'm going upon things that I learned in Mark DeWidziak's class. Like, I don't have all these things in my brain. So Cinemassacre was a very, very big piece of research in this video. So obviously I would say things that are in Cinemassacre videos. So yeah, you don't need to tell me in the comments, I'm aware. So yeah, there's the vampire book right there, actually.
1920. However,
and yeah, so yeah, they talk about that same exact thing in the Cinemassacre Lost Films episode. But yeah, I mean, that's what I use for research in this.
But until now, Nosferatu is the oldest surviving.
Still the oldest surviving. They haven't found either of those other films. So on to number 8, around the halfway point of the list here.
There are many different music.
Oh my god, if you listen to any of the soundtracks that this film has, like, you know that there's some crazy ones out there. I've seen maybe like 4 or 5 different versions of the soundtrack of this. I'd probably recommend like the Kino versions. I'm hoping someday that Criterion will release it, and they might have released it already, but I don't have it. But I'm hoping Criterion will release a version of Nosferatu with the original score and re-record it, because I'm sure the sheet music exists, there's just no recording of it, so I'm hoping that they do that.
Shooting day for night.
Yeah, day for night, yeah, it looks pretty ridiculous. One thing I will mention, because I was talking the entire time, I swear a lot in this video. I won't say I swear a lot. I say the F-bomb a couple times that the comments say. And what's really humbling to me is that college professors have actually approached me via the internet, not approached me in real life, but they've actually asked if they could use this video in their classes. So they actually had me do a clean version of this where I don't really swear at all. And so that was just a really humbling experience, knowing that my videos are shown in classes, and that's just insane. And yeah, Dracula carrying that coffin is still ridiculous. I don't care what kind of filter you put on it.
You don't see Nosferatu that much.
People question the John Cena reference. I just said you don't see him that much. John Cena, you can't see me. It seems like an obvious joke, but some people were confused by that. And speaking of Dracula not really being on screen a lot in this film, it left very little options for me to use in this video. So I tried the best I could to not reuse clips. And if I did reuse clips, I tried to put like the different color tinted versions of it on there, because I just don't like repeating clips. But when your video is what, 12, 13 minutes long and Dracula's only in the film for 9 minutes, I mean, it gets a little tough here and there. Number 5, German Expressionism. Obviously, I talk about this a lot. My Caligari video should be out at this point. If it's not out, here's a little sneak peek. I'm doing a Caligari video, and obviously that was another big part of German Expressionism. And Caligari, in my opinion, Caligari is the superior film, but I still love Nosferatu a lot.
The Expressionist
Yeah, we talk about the Golem, we talk about how it was very influential today, the German Expressionist style, in the work of Tim Burton. I'm going to be showing some Tim Burton clips up here in a moment. And yeah, he's really one of the only filmmakers who does some cool stuff like that these days. And again, this episode's just very informationally driven. I still tried to throw some jokes in here and there, but this one has a lot of info. It's more like 50 phenomenal facts really thrown in there. And yeah, I learned a lot. This video took a long time to make. I was working on this one for like a month straight. Maybe even longer with the research. The research actually took the longest, followed by the editing. And yeah, here's where I'm talking about how they couldn't get the Dracula rights from Bram Stoker's Widow. There's a great piece of, a great image that's coming up here in a second, of Bram Stoker's Widow. I'll talk about it when we get to it, but...
And the ending is completely different, but we'll get to that. However,
right here, this one right here. So when she's looking and then the Nosferatu shadows in the background, I just really love that artwork. Because it's sort of like Nosferatu was haunting her, and she was haunting it because she tried to get it destroyed, as I'm talking about right here. But that clip's a little jittery. I think I had to slow that clip down to use it a little bit. It gets a little jittery effect. Overall, like, I'm happy with the editing of this. There's a couple things I would have done differently in here. But overall, and again, it took a long time to edit too, but the research definitely took the longest out of everything, because I was reading the vampire book, the encyclopedia, I was reading all these different publications trying to get research for it.
Luckily for us, however, Nosferatu proved to be even more difficult to kill than Dracula himself.
I love that line, that's why I was quiet for that line.
Began to turn up, and it's rumored that Miss Stoker would relentlessly track them down and incinerate them before her death in 19...
Yeah, that's crazy.
However, Nosferatu continued to live on and is today considered one of the best silent films ever made.
And of course, if you guys haven't seen my list of the top 10 silent films from last year, you gotta go ahead and check that out. So yeah, number 2, I mean, Nosferatu is still relevant today. I mean, still people talk about it. Again, with the plague coming back, with COVID-19 coming back, I'm hoping people go back and revisit Nosferatu, because it's a very timely film at the time now. And yeah, as I said, I hope that they take some influence. As much as I want to see them make the Dracula and vampire characters advance, I would love to see a film where they just go back old school and do like something like that. Talking about the 70s version of Nosferatu, which I saw once. That's definitely one that I need to revisit.
Even if you haven't seen the film, you were probably familiar with the iconic images of Dracula coming through the doorway in his shadow.
So, like, these images are so iconic. I've had that beer a few years ago. I didn't really like it, but I didn't drink that much. I still don't drink that much now, but I'm hoping I've refined my taste a little bit. Love the SpongeBob clip, but yeah, I'm gonna have to give that beer another try at some point.
Affected nearly every vampire story that followed.
And yes, see right there, there was a little editing glitch right there. I could have cleaned that up a little better. But yeah, Sunlight, man. If it wasn't for Nosferatu, who knows where we would be with vampire lore. I mean, I've seen comments in this video that are saying that some European folklore and stuff, they had sunlight kill vampires, but this was the main one that made it, like, universal that vampires are vanquished by sunlight, which we see in everything, basically.
Essentially rewrote vampire history.
Yeah, rewrote vampire history, basically. Because, I mean, it wasn't in the novel at all. Yep, no, Twilight, few exceptions and stuff like that. Well, I love the Christopher Lee version, but the third one, it was like Dracula. The one with Paul the Christian, that's the best one. I can't, the name is escaping me right now, I'm double taking. Oh, the end of the video. This was fun, man. Going back and revisiting this. Do you guys remember annotations? If you're watching the actual version of this, you can't even click on these links anymore because they got rid of the annotations.
Also, if you're watching this after October 6th.
And yeah, Lost on VHS. This was before Lost on VHS even came out. So this was when I first started really making these spooky videos on the channel. Of course, I had a few reviews come out before this of Tusk. I love the shot of the TV. Of Tusk and stuff like that. The video's over now, but I'm still gonna talk for a little bit. Yeah, so that was really like the big precursor to the House of Horror. Of course, I had a few videos come out before that and stuff. The Evil Dead review and the review of Tusk. Maybe sometime down the line I'm gonna go and rewatch those and react to them, because I haven't seen those in years as well. But yeah, the Nosferatu one and those Lost on VHS videos, that really set the stage of what I would do with the House of Horror in years to come. And yeah, very cool. I would love to do more episodes of Lost on VHS at some point in the future, but right now it's just not in the cards. But yeah, that's really how my YouTube channel came together. It was just like a miscellaneous thing, but that's when I really started making videos more frequently, and of course with the podcast and everything. So the Nosferatu video was really a big part of what this channel is. I hope you guys go and check it out. I hope you enjoyed my reaction of the video, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. Maybe someday I'll talk some more about this video, but for right now that's all that's in my head, and so that's all I'm gonna say. Of course, I am making more episodes of 15 Phenomenal Facts, so if there are any films you want to hear me cover, let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what your favorite episode of 15 Phenomenal Facts has been so far. And yeah, that's about it. I just want to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. And if you give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend, it would be greatly appreciated. I will see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode from the House of Horror. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And so as always, just take care and stay spooky.